concrete walls. There's a place for us where we could go, where we could be alone. Between city lights, we don't have to hide. I wanna go, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? I can't understand why we can't hold hands, but they don't know what we have is real love. Aren't you sick and tired of having to hide? I know a place, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow?
What's up? It's time. It's time for FPV. It's time for FPV Q&A with me, JB, and you, and May. That's one thing I learned from Nicki Minaj is you can pronounce me as May and make a rhyme. I learned a lot of things from Nicki Minaj. That was one of them. Oh. I'm just thinking of my favorite Nicki lyric. I was going to sing one for you. I don't know if I'm feeling wouldn't want to like get like one line in and choke and disrespect the queen that way. So I think I'm going to not do that, but welcome to the live stream, everybody. I've had a super busy day. Working on hold on. Working on this, the new budget build, the JB budget build V2 coming up. We'll updated the parts and stuff a little bit. Working on that tutorial. Working on this, JB F7 V2 flight controller. Working on the manual for that. And that's a little bit why I was late. I was a minute or two late for the stream, so got a little distracted. Cardi B is the queen. I thought Nicki was Queen Nicki. Don't we call her Queen Nicki? Isn't that what we call her? I mean... Who's the queen of rap? Let's Who's the queen? Oh, apparently that's a... Wow. Nicki Minaj is the queen of rap. I mean, apparently it's not clear cut. You know what? Let's just stick to FPV. Phantom FPV, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. I thought I was doing a bit. And then I actually had a little spit on me. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was gross. I thought I was pretending. Oh! Well, we're off to a great start, folks. We're off to a great start. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, it's good to be here with you. I'm going to be answering your questions. Here's your chat. I'm going to be answering your questions. Feel free to hit that $sign. Leave me a super chat if you want to, and I will read your questions a little later in the stream. And just a momentary thank you to all my patrons here in the Discord server. These beautiful people pay my bills, basically, among other things. And a big thank you to them. I'll be reading your comments and keeping up and looking at your animated images throughout the show. John Goblin, what is your... I want to see your... Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that's good. I'll take that. Yes, I'll take that. Oh, let's get into it. Let's take some questions. Pretty sure Phantom FPV could have done the bus gap if Steele wasn't blinding him for 45 minutes. How was Steele blinding him for 45 minutes? I wasn't there for the bus gap. Phantom FPV posted some footage from Rampage, apparently. I heard about it. All I know is that Steele's crew came back into the build room. Was it Steele's crew? Somebody came into the build room and said Phantom and Steele have been trying to fly through the bus, and Phantom will not stop. He will not wave. You know how you're about to go for a trick and you see that you don't have it lined up and you wave off and you try again? They were like, Phantom will not do that. He will just, every single time, he will just go for it. And eventually, I think he got it. Ricardo Ferreira is going to be the first actual question of the day. Ricardo Ferreira asks, can I charge my 2S LiPos at 1 amp? Okay, so first of all, the voltage of your LiPo doesn't matter. I mean, obviously it matters. You have to charge at the right voltage, but your charger will take care of that. The real question is, what C rate can you charge at? And let's just pull up a little calculator here. You have a 450 or 500 milliamp hour battery. Let's just say it's 500 milliamp hours. 500 milliamp hours, a 1C would be 0.5 amps. That's a 0.5 amp hours. 500 divided by 1,000 is 0.5 amp hours. So 1C would be 500 milliamps or 0.5 amps. 2C would be 1 amp. So the question is, can you charge your battery at 2C? And the answer is yes. Just yes. Now, 1C is the safest. That is a fact. Why is it 1C? Why isn't it 0.8C? Why isn't it 1.2C? Because people like round numbers. The reality is that the safeness and danger of charging batteries is a sliding scale. And everybody decides where they are on that scale. When you're a beginner, or if you're just dumb because you're new, or maybe you're just dumb. I mean, look. if you're dumb, then you got to learn that you're dumb. You got to play around that, right? Okay. We charge it 1C because it's safest and the math is easy. Doesn't require any math. 1300 milliamp hour battery, 1.3 amps. Done. But why can't you charge it 2C? You can. Why can't you charge it 3C? You can. Why can't you charge it 5C? You can. Well, why can't you charge it 10C? Ooh, well, I mean, you can. You see the difference in those? The higher your charge rate, the more likely it is for something to go wrong. And then the battery lights on fire. And now you're having a real bad time. Like a real bad time. Did you know that lithium battery fires are self-sustaining? If you put a lithium battery underwater and puncture it, it will create fire. Underwater. If you take a lithium battery in a vacuum, in an oxygen-starved environment, in an environment-starved environment, would it really be an environment then? It'll make fire. It doesn't need environmental oxygen. Ha! It's got all the oxygen it needs right inside it. So when a lithium battery goes off, it's a bad time. And the whole point of charging at a safe rate is to prevent that from happening, to minimize the odds of that happening. So you could charge at 2C. And frankly, my opinion is that the risk of charging at 2C, I don't think it's significantly different than charging at 1C. Somewhere between like 2 or 3C and like 5C, my personal, like, I don't know if I feel good about this, changes. And above 5C, I'm not sure it's worth it. But the two questions that you ask yourself are, I think, number one, am I significantly increasing the odds of like blowing up the battery? And what you have to worry about there is a battery that has an internal problem, like a damaged cell or a bad connection that's been damaged from crashing. And the faster you're charging, the more heat will build up and the worse things will get when they get bad. So if you have a slightly damaged battery, it could be fine forever if you charge it at 1C. But if you charge it at 5C, maybe that would sort of push it over the edge and it would light on fire. So one of the reasons we charge at 1C is that if a battery is less than perfectly healthy, it reduces the odds that it will actually go over the edge and light on fire. But the other thing is that charging a battery too fast, eventually just the fact that you're charging it too fast will damage it. But frankly, like a lot of batteries that I see, the manufacturer says you could charge them between 3 and 5C, which suggests that probably it's not really hurting the battery. Because if you think about it, you discharge it at 70 amps, you charge it at 5 amps. Charging isn't the same as discharging, but the manufacturer says you can charge it at 3 to 5C, depending on the battery. Why do we charge it at 1C? Well, because, safety. Because you're in a hurry, but if it lights on fire, you're going to have a bad day. So, what's my take on this? If you're a beginner or if you're dumb, charge at 1C. If you are very confident that your battery is healthy, and if you are absolutely certain that you're going to be right there when it starts to go bad, when it starts to hiss and crackle and puff, and instead of being in the other room getting yourself a drink or playing a video game, you're going to be right there and you're going to go, oh shit! And you're going to pick it up with your fireplace glove that you keep nearby, your big heavy leather glove. You're going to throw it out the window into the driveway where it can light on fire and not hurt anything. They'd charge it 3 or 5C. It's probably fine. But the problem comes when people get careless and they charge at 3 to 5C because they listened to this whole 15-minute spiel and all they took from it was, Bardwell says you can charge at 3 and 5C. And then they go in the other room and they play a video game, and then it lights on fire and burns their house down. And then they're like, damn, Bardwell, you burned my house down. Alrighty. Good question. Way to get us started. We're going to put that up. You know what? And here's the thing. Once upon a time, that great little spiel, I think it was a pretty good little spiel. Once upon a time, that would have been lost forever to history. But now that It's Blunty is running the Joshua Bardwell Livestream Clips channel, that will be preserved for all history here on the Joshua Bardwell Livestream Clips channel. Blunty is running it. We're at 2.3 thousand subscribers right now. We got to get that number up. You guys got to go subscribe to that. If you watch every second of every live stream, then you don't need to subscribe to this. I mean, I'd still love to have you subscribe, but if you ever miss the highlights of our live streams, mine and Blunty's both, then including great segments like Joshua Bardwell hates In-N-Out Burger, and Joshua Bardwell talks about Weigel's versus Buc-ee's, and other technical topics, go ahead and get subscribed to that channel. Yeah. So, no custom URL. Oh, no, it is. Oh, custom URL. Blunty got the custom URL. Look. Oh, I'm so happy. He got the custom URL taken care of. Oh, man, I got to give him a raise. Alrighty. Next question. Start the live stream late. Here's the keys to success as a streamer. Start the live stream late. Bullshit around for like 8 minutes. Spend like 12 minutes answering the first question, and then don't read the super chats. Nah, just keep going. Let's see now. DADU02SD. I don't know what. Dadu02SD. That is not true. BL S and BL 32 do not have any voltage cutoff by default. And they will. Why would a multi-rotor have a voltage cutoff? That makes no sense. No, they absolutely do not. The default, I mean, somewhere out there, a manufacturer could theoretically ship an ESC with a low voltage cutoff. They do support low voltage cutoff as a feature, but it's off by default on every multi-rotor I've seen. And if it were on, you could just turn it off. So no, that is not true in any way. Not true in any way. I got a question here from a person that's here. I want to buy my first quad. I'm torn between the Crux 3 Express LRS or a Mobilite 7 Express LRS that I would throw on an outside frame. I think the Crux 3 is real good. I haven't heard any serious complaints about the Crux 3. The toothpick form factor is really, really fun. And I would just get the Crux 3 as opposed to buying a Mobilite 7 and putting it on an outside frame. Why would you put yourself through that work? Chat, weigh in. Give me your opinion. Is there any compelling reason to buy a Mobilite and put it on a toothpick frame versus just buying a Crux 3? Here, let's put a poll. Let's create a poll. Let's see. Oh. All right, we're going to put a poll up, and you guys can answer the poll, and we'll see what people say. But for now, we'll come back to that poll in just a few minutes after we see what people's answers are. Huff19 thinks that the toothpick will be more durable versus the Crux 3. May be true. White Wolf, I don't think I've done a build video using the SpeedyBF7 stack. No, I don't think so. Thank you guys. Thank you guys in the Discord for being patrons. A Crux 3 is going to break arms, and it's a unibody design. A whoop frame can be glued together for a long time. Jory, just to be clear here, Jory, I don't think he's going to fly the Mob 7 on a plastic whoop frame. He's going to move the plastic whoop. He's going to move the Mob 7 to a toothpick frame. So he wants a toothpick either way. I believe he wants a toothpick either way. What about the Baby 8 Pro? It's not like it's not technically a toothpick, although it is pretty good. Wesley Vardy suggests the Mo Beetle on the carbon fiber frame that it ships with. It's no good for inside anymore, though. I have a Mo Beetle I'm working on a review for. I haven't actually gotten started with it, but this Mo Beetle comes as a whoop, but it comes with a carbon fiber frame that you can switch it over to. At that point, you don't have prop guards, and Wesley Vardy says it's no good for the there it is. It's not anymore. However, I've seen Bubby FPV fly the. Check this out. Bubby FPV has the Babito, basically a naked prop tiny whoop, and he tears the hell out of it. Look at this. Now, he doesn't have prop guards, so the minute he hits something, he's going down, but woo! This kid can rip. We back yet? We'll be back in just a second. We will be back. Cool, Comcast. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Any minute now. Cool. Loving it. Loving this. Yeah, so Comcast has been giving me a lot of problems lately. There's a problem with the lines. Just waiting for it to settle. It will settle. It goes, there we go. We're back. We're back. Sorry about that. Comcast, I got Comcast to tell me that there's a problem with the lines somewhere on my road, but they don't know where it is. And I was like, cool, that's so helpful. And they're supposed to be fixing it. And anyway, there we go. We're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep going. It goes away for like 3 minutes and then it comes back. But we're back now. And we're going to keep going. Better get these super chats out of the way before my stream goes down. Nah, it should be fine now. Riet9, thank you for 420 Australian. Send help! Koalas and Crocs. Welcome to Australia. Swift69, thank you for a $5 super chat. Thanks for answering my question yesterday. Yes, 2S toothpick. Couldn't stick around for the whole stream, but I caught it later. Thanks again. Friedrich auf Klintenberg, thank you for 50 Swedish kroner. Looking to build my first drone. Top 3 tips for a beginner. Cheers from Sweden. Friedrich, the top 3 tips for someone building their first FPV drone. I would say start with a good build tutorial so that you can, if you try and like pick your own parts and then you have to figure out how to put them together and nobody's given you an exact wiring diagram for your exact build, start with something with a good build tutorial that lays out all the steps for you. I happen to have some of those, but you don't have to pick mine. That's one thing I would say. Number 2, don't arm it inside your house. Test fly it outside first. Don't have your props on and plug in and, be working on it with your props on. Don't do that. And then number 3, I would say start to learn in a simulator first and then transition to flying outside after you've crashed in the simulator a few hundred times. That'll really save you a lot of trouble. Congratulations on your first build. Tom Weich, thank you for a $5 super chat. Crashing in air mode makes the motors go crazy. Transmitter calibration used to fix it, but not on a recent crash. Motors revving up excessively, and when I move it, and then we ran out of... if you're crashing in air mode, What do you mean by the motors go crazy? You mean it just goes, wah! Then what happens? Tom White, I need to know what else happens after you crash and the motors go crazy. I need more information. CB Runner, thanks for a $5 super chat. Why aren't we asking for a better OSD than traditional Betaflight OSD? As I understand it, DJI and the new Fat Shark draw the OSD in the goggle. CB Runner, I mean, you can ask for whatever you want, but this is an open source project staffed by people entirely for free. So usually when people ask for something, the devs go, yeah, we would love to have your help with that. Now that's a little bit disingenuous because in some cases, you know, the devs are a little bit protective of what features they roll in. They don't just take anything and everything. But the bottom line is you can ask. Everybody's doing this for free, you know? So you have limited ability to ask and demand things that you want. Now, here's the thing, though. There is a better OSD. It's called Canvas mode, and it's a full graphical OSD. DJI doesn't support it. Basically, nobody supports it. The Betaflight devs invented it. It exists. Nobody supports it. So you can now go and ask DJI to do that for you. Good luck with that. You could go and ask Walksdale to do it for you. Maybe they will. Oh, great. This is stupid. Cool. Are we back? This makes for such a good experience, doesn't it? When just constantly the gosh darn internet's going out. I pay $250 a month for this business class internet. In the middle of my effing live stream, it goes out for 3 minutes at a time. I don't expect 99.99999% uptime, I understand, but this is absolute bullshit. This is bullshit. I pay $250 a month for this absolute bullshit. I don't want to see dropped frames in the middle of my effing stream. I don't want to see dropped frames and my stream stuttering. It's effing bullshit. No, people are saying it didn't break. I saw dropped frames. Continuing on. CB Runner, I would try asking HD0 and try asking Walksnail for that, and you may have a chance of getting a guess. Okay, we're going to keep going. Comcast has been absolutely problem-free for me for like 3 years. I honestly believe that there is some cable up on a pole somewhere and they just can't find where it is. But it is driving me crazy to be in the middle of a stream and have my effing stream drop out, and it effing breaks my effing concentration. And, you know, we get stuttering and bullshit. Look, it's happening now! All right. Yeah, where am I going to change providers to, Drewby? Here it goes. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Great. Thank you. We're back. We're back. Are we back? Cool. Let's continue. Look at that. Isn't that great? Look at all the viewers signing off because I frickin' dropped. There it goes. There it goes. Bye. We lost 100 viewers. Right there. Thanks, Comcast. Thanks. I really appreciate it, Comcast. Let's end this poll that we posted earlier. Buy the Crux 3 and fly 70%. Got one here from Kilo Foxtrot. I'm going to try and get it out before Comcast craps out again. Kilo Foxtrot says, I sent a $2 super chat about 30 minutes to the end of yesterday's stream, but I think you missed it. Can you explain how D-gains amplify noise? I have a hard time understanding that concept after watching PID videos from you and Chris Rosser. I will try and do that. Kilo Foxtrot, the first thing I would say is that a derivative is essentially a high-pass filter. An integral is essentially a low-pass filter. So a high-pass filter lets high-frequency noise through and attenuates low frequencies and vice versa. The way a derivative works is that when there is fast movement, the derivative amplifies that movement. So the higher the frequency of noise, the more activity there will be in the D term. Low frequency moves slower, if you will, and so D term amplifies that less. Yeah, so D term is essentially a high pass filter. It amplifies high frequency, or it amplifies noise, and specifically amplifies. Is it the magnitude of the noise or the frequency? I may have misspoke there. I guess it's going to amplify noise regardless, but I know that I term is a low pass, D term is a high pass, but that's if you're thinking of it as a filter. I'm fundamentally showing the lack of calculus knowledge. Like I got like a C and a D in calculus in college, and then I never looked back. So I don't actually know what. Like I could draw what an integral and a derivative is. Derivative is the change in term over time. Integral is the area under the curve. Like I get that. That's sort of freshman level calculus, but then actually asking me to explain something like why does the derivative amplify noise? I'm not sure I'm the right guy to answer that. The gist of it is that the PID loop, what you've got is you've got noise in the gyro, and the D term responds to that noise and becomes even more active, which results in noisy motor outputs. So that's how the D term amplifies that noise to the motors. Yeah. And then the motors try and respond to that, and that feeds back into the gyro. I'm afraid that's the best you're going to get from me with my level of math and calculus. All right. Let's continue. We've caught up. We've caught up on super chats and stuff. Riet9 wants to know about my new flight controller. Is it getting an INAV target? Riet, we did make sure that it has a barometer on board. So I think that potentially it could get an INAV target, but we said we decided we would like to just release it rather than wait on the release for the INAV target. So at some point in the future, it could have an INAV target, but it doesn't at the time of release. Chris Rosser would have, yeah, I have no doubt that Chris Rosser could explain why the D term amplifies noise in a very meaningful way. But the person asking the question said he watched Chris Rosser's video and didn't really understand it. So frankly, if Chris Rosser couldn't explain it, then I don't think I can, because I'm just not that strong in math the way that somebody like Chris is. I'm certainly not strong in calculus. Abraham, thanks for a $5 super chat. Love you even when your stream's breaking up. Sorry, bud. Comcast sucks the most. I gotta say, Comcast has been amazing. I've had Comcast basically the whole time you've been watching my streams. And they're almost always, except when I leave like Dropbox running in the background, they're almost always rock solid. It's only in the last like 3 weeks that this has started. And I actually had a technician out at my house because I was like, okay, come check my lines. And while he was here, he said that he checked and there's a trouble ticket that another guy's working on up the road. And the cable has a crack in it and they're trying to find the crack. Well, I guess they still haven't found the crack. It's driving me freaking crazy. I'll be downstairs working and I'll hear my kid from upstairs and he'll be like, ah! And I'll be like, oh, the internet's gone out again. Tom, it's normal. It's normal, Tom. Everybody, Tom said, thank you for a super chat. No, just don't tell Tom it's normal because he's going to keep super chatting me. Just don't answer Tom's question so he keeps super chatting me. Tom, it's normal. You move the throttle a little bit and the motors go up and don't come down. That's normal. If the motors go, here, let's try it. We're going to do this right now on stream, live. We'll do it live. Thanks, Bill O'Reilly. How is that normal? Tom says. Well, Tom, that's a different question. Can we get you to accept that it's normal? And then we'll move from there to how could it be normal? We're moving slowly through the stages of grief. We've almost reached acceptance. Hang on. Okay. Tom is gone. He's in denial. Soon he'll go through bargaining. That can't be normal. No, that's denial. Sorry. Still in denial. All right, here we go. We got a quadcopter. Is it going to arm? Props are off for fun. Oh, it won't arm because I got frickin' Betaflight plugged in. Yeah, hold on. Motors tab. I understand the risks. Props are off. Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna arm. We're not gonna arm. Why aren't we gonna arm? Can we arm? What's wrong? How are we in failsafe? Oh, because I plugged the battery in too soon. The receiver went into Wi-Fi mode. Hold on. Okay, now we're happy. Okay. Motors tab. Okay, great. All right, here we go. We're going to arm. Okay, now I'm going to raise the throttle. Now I'm not doing anything. Is this what you're describing, Tom? Now, if I lower the throttle down to 0, it kicks off again. Is air mode turned on? Hang on, is air mode on? Configuration. Air mode is on, okay. So if I lower the throttle all the way down again. Oh, I gotta do it. All right, so is that what's happening to you, Tom? Is that what's happening? Look, here I arm. Okay, I'm going to raise the throttle just a smidge. You can't see. Okay, just a smidge. There we go. Just a millimeter. Oh, there it goes. All right, so, and here we go. We're going to lower the throttle. There we go. Now they're stopped again. And now I'm moving the quad, so of course it's trying to... Okay, so why is it doing that? Tom, is that what's happening to you? That's the first question. It does it in all modes and not all motors equally. Tom, did it look to you like mine was doing all motors equally? Alrighty. I'm about done with this nonsense with you. I'm about done with this nonsense, to be honest with you. So anyway, Tom, the reason it does that is that the flight controller is trying to fly the quad, and since it doesn't have props, it can't fly the quad. However, it does it even when you have props on, it can still do it. All right, that's it. That's it. I'm out. If it happens again, I'm out. I'm just out. If it happens again, I'm just out. I'm just going to stop. It's ridiculous. All right? It's ridiculous. I mean, we know it's going to happen again, so we should just answer the super chats and call it. Tom, feel free to email me if you want to discuss it more. I'm sorry, I'm not in a good mood right this minute because my stream is full of shit. Let's see if there's any more super chats. No, because my super chats are freaking gone now because I had to reload the page. Cool. Bye, super chat. Look, no super chats. And we're done. We're done. We're out.